Welcome to the Game of Faith podcast. This is your host, Reginald Easy Ward. Man, thank you all for the love from the first episode. I was extremely inspired, extremely happy that you all received the content well. But man, oh man, this episode, like I said, we're peeling back them layers. So without further ado, this guest right here, somebody, Miss Allison Gilmore, who has a phenomenal story. And I want you guys to hear it. And so, Allison, without me doing too much talking, tell them who you are.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. My name's Allison, like Easy said. First and foremost, Easy, I just want to say thank you for inviting me here today. I really appreciate it. But once again, my name's Allison. I am a junior journalism mass communication student at the illustrious North Carolina A&T State University. I'm all the way from St. Louis, Missouri, so 314 L's up to all my homies. And I just finished interning on Capitol Hill.
Dang, that's dope. So how did that come about?
Yeah, so in my sophomore year, I was like, okay, let me get an internship. So I just started applying to places. I know that I love journalism, but I also know that I love politics. So I thought this would be a good time to explore politics, just because of the political climate and everything that's going on right now. And we're approaching midterm elections. I was like, this is the time to really get in there and see what it's like. So first I applied to Kamala Harris's office. Then I applied to Alma Adams just because I was like, let me just apply to it. I applied to Cory Booker's office. I applied for a UK Fulbright Summer Institute. God, what else did I apply for? I applied to a lot of stuff, but I applied to the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation internship. And I ended up getting the internship in Alma Adams' office first. And I was so happy. I was so overjoyed. It was great, but I just kept hearing God saying, but wait, there's more. And I was like, wait, what do you mean there's more? Like, what? I don't get it. So the more happened like a month later. I believe it was like 2 weeks left of classes, 2 or 3 weeks left of classes. And I got an email from the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. And they were like, you've been accepted. We're giving you a stipend. We're giving you free housing. You're going to be here the whole summer. And, come through to D.C. I was like, oh, I'm finna take this. So that happened on the same day that I got inducted into an honor society. And I got the position to work for the A&T Register as the word editor. And all that happened in one day. And I was like, God, that was the more. I get it now. Dang. So, yeah.
So now... That's a lot to take in.
That's a lot to take in. So fast.
That's like a culmination of like hard work and like success.
Yeah.
Like it just overflowed into like one big day. It's just like everything poured out that you wanted, that you had been desiring, you had been really hoping for. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, we gotta put them layers back.
Yeah.
So
back. Take
us through the journey to that.
Yeah.
Like take us through you knowing that you were hearing from God, like how you grew closer with Him over time, and how you came to that point.
Yeah, where do you want me to start? You want me to start high school, college?
Let's see. We got time, so I'm gonna say high school.
Okay, let's start in high school. So growing up, I've like always just kind of been like, I guess I'm gonna say rebellious. I just like talked back, and I was like bad for the most part, but I was smart, so nobody could really say anything about it. So in the 8th grade, going into my freshman year of high school, I just want to say this is so weird. Whenever I like tell people my testimony, it's not often that I tell guys, so this is like a different experience for me.
Okay.
And I'm just saying like I kind of like it. It's different.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to get used to it. So this is a good first experience.
Yeah, I mean, like you have a powerful people need to hear this.
Right. So going into my freshman year of high school, I was raped. It was a month after my 14th birthday, and I literally remember it like it was yesterday. I remember exactly what happened. I remember like where I was, how I was feeling before, after. To this day, wow. I hate box fans. I cannot stand a box fan. I don't like LeBron James, because it was the day that LeBron James beat OKC and he got his first ring.
Wow.
And I was so upset. And I don't like LeBron, but I love OKC, and I'm just waiting for them to win a championship, which will never happen. And yeah, it was really tough. And I remember I went home, and that summer I was keeping a journal about what I did each day. And I remember in the journal I wrote like what I was doing, and every Sunday I would write, repentant for this, that, and the third. And I remember in that journal that day I wrote, don't even want to talk about it. And the next day I wrote, this could either make me or break me. Because I knew like this was such a defining moment in my life, and it ended up breaking me, which was really bad. So my freshman year,
Scoop just a little bit.
yeah. My freshman year, God, my first week of school, I like had sex with this football player, and like the whole school found out, and it was horrible. It was like the worst experience of my life. And then I just started like binge drinking, and I was like smoking weed all the time. I had started smoking weed that summer, but of course I like picked up on it. And I just like started sleeping around because I just didn't know any better. I thought that was how guys showed that they liked me. So if a guy wanted to have sex with me, that meant that he liked me. But I didn't know, like, I'm 14, I'm getting played. And it was really bad. My mom found out. I don't even know how my mom found out. I remember when my mom found out that I was smoking weed, but she found out about everything because I think somebody snitched on me or something. I don't even remember. But my mom found out, and she was livid. But my mom didn't know what to do with me. So she made me tell my dad everything I was doing, and then I got put out the house. So I had to go and live with my grandma.
What age?
I was 14.
Wow.
This is all like my first month of high school. This is like all of this is my first month of high school. My sister had just went off to college. I'm in the house alone. Both of my parents were working nights, so my parents didn't come home till 11 o'clock at night. I came home from school at 3. I'm chilling. I ain't got no homework for real, and I'm doing all my homework because I'm smart. So I'm bored, and I'm bored and I'm doing what I want to do. And my mom found out I was doing what I want to do, and she's like, "You're not grown, and you can't live here anymore." So I lived with my grandma for that entire first semester. It was really annoying. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a laptop. I had to use my grandma's computer when I needed to do homework. My curfew went up. It was really annoying. Sometimes I would get picked up from my grandma's at like 12, 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I would just have to spend the night there and have somebody pick me up or take me to school. It was really, really hard. And I didn't have a lot of friends because going into my freshman year that summer, I also spent that time trying to hang out with more black people because people always called me an Oreo when I was in middle school. And I was like, I was tired of that. I was tired of the black girls not liking me because I only hung out with white people. And I started noticing things about my white friends. I was like, I just want to hang out with black people. So then I ditched all my white friends. And then the black girls that I was hanging out with, I didn't really rock with them for real. But then it was too late for me to go back to my white friends because they had already clicked up. And at that point, I wasn't fitting in. So I spent a lot of my freshman year just chilling. I didn't have any friends for real.
So let's backtrack a little bit. So
yeah,
you said that you were raped and you started binge drinking. So and this is just we haven't even touched college yet. This is just the freshman year of high school. This is my freshman year. So what do you think were the root what was the root of those things?
Yeah.
Was it acceptance and things like that?
It was just a lot of voids I was trying to fill. I'm big on attention. I've always been an attention seeker, and I hated it. I still hate it. I still can find myself just wanting attention, and there were just a lot of voids and a lot of emptiness I was feeling. So it was I was feeling the void of wanting to fit in and wanting to be cool by going out and drinking and getting wasted at 14. I was partying with Can I say the N word on here?
No.
We not doing that? Okay. Just had, I'm bad for that. I won't curse, but I'll slip the N word. I was hanging out with.
Not on here, folks. Not on here.
We're not doing that today.
Not today. That, okay? Reginald Easy Ward. Now approve that message.
We don't approve the N word today. But I was hanging out with all these guys from the hood, and they're all older than me. And I was smoking for free, and they always had bottles. I was hanging out with my friends who had cars and would pick me up.
Wow.
They always had gas. I was like, this lit. I was so lit. I was 14.
You were living the true.
I was living my quote unquote best life.
My best life.
I was living my best life. I had straight A's. I think I had 1 B my first semester, my freshman year, because like I said, I was smart. So granted, I might have been getting kicked out of class, but yeah, I was just feeling voids, loneliness, depression, secrets. I didn't tell anybody. Yeah, I didn't tell anybody at all, for real. I didn't even know I had got raped. So that's an even crazier part. I didn't realize it for an entire year. I just thought it was my fault, which is why I didn't talk about it, because I felt stupid. I was dating a guy at the time when it happened, and I told him, and he was like, you're dumb. You're so stupid. You let that happen. And it made me feel so bad. So I didn't talk about it. I was hiding all these secrets from everybody. My mom was like, what's wrong with you? I was crying all the time. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. The whole time I knew.
So to interject here, did you go through all of high school with that kind of built up, or was it a breaking moment?
For the most part, I didn't really. So I told my older brother, after my first year of high school, and he was like, Allison, you got raped. I was like, what are you talking about? No, I didn't. He was like, did you say no? I was like, yeah, a lot. He was like, I was like, yeah. And he was like, Allison, that's rape, point blank. And I was really hurt, because this whole time I was like, it's my fault. So I think I told my sister, and my sister broke down. And I told my best friends when we had graduated from high school. And they were like, Allison, if we would have known. I think I had told my boyfriend at the time. We started dating my sophomore year. I think I told him. And yeah, I told him. And he was hurt about it. I didn't tell my mom until summer 2016. I just told my dad last summer. Wow. And my dad was livid, because my dad at one point had hired that guy. And I remember when he told me he hired him, I was like, ugh. Wow. I was like, that's wild. He knows his people. It's he knows his uncles and his pops, so. He
knows his bloodline, for real.
Yeah, the area that I live in St. Louis, it's real small. Everybody know everybody family. If you black and you live in that area, you're family. Yeah. I got cousins out there. And, yeah, so I just really went all of high school without talking about it. Even when I was going to therapy, my last therapy session, I told my therapist I was raped. And she literally said, oh, well, that explains everything. And at the moment, I took such offense to it. I was like, why would you even say that? But I realized, wow, that was the root of every single problem I had.
So I want you to stop right there.
Yeah.
Backtrack. Therapy.
Yeah, therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah, I started going to therapy.
Tell the people.
Oh yeah, y'all go to therapy. It helps. It helps with a lot of things. It helped me sort out my emotions.
If I can't get any message out, if you've been through any traumatic experience that you feel like you have things built up, things that are lingering in your head, bothering you,
yeah,
please, for real, go get help. This is not a test or a funny time.
Right.
Seriously,
for real.
Please get help. It's for the betterment of your mental health and for your longevity and for you to be mentally stable.
Right.
So
yeah.
Continue.
No, you're fine. I started going to therapy my freshman year when I was acting out, and my mom put me in therapy. And it was okay. At first I was real reluctant because I was still real bad. I didn't want to really talk to nobody. I was just like, I hate everybody. I remember one time my mom gave me a random drug test and I failed. And I was in there, I was going off because I was so mad. I was like, I want my money back. You owe me $20.
Yeah.
She told me she threw my weed away. Oh, I was tight. I used to be acting a fool in therapy. But I did therapy all of high school. And it was great. I don't regret it at all. Because the older I got, the more I couldn't even deal with my emotions. Especially my senior year, my emotions would be so confusing that I didn't even know what to call it. So my mom was like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm irritated. I'm sad. I'm depressed. But I'm also really angry right now. But a part of me is happy. But I also want to be alone. It was so bad. It wasn't stable at all those emotions, like, I would just never want to go through that again. I like just having one emotion, even if it's just mad, or even if I'm just happy, like, just one emotion. I'm straight. So yeah, I went to therapy. It helped a lot.
So to fast forward.
Let's fast forward.
So let's fast forward. So you got raped when you were 14. You started binge drinking.
Yeah.
This was all your freshman year of high school.
Yeah, and I'm smoking mad weed too.
Yeah, you
smoking mad. Woo!
You smoking out of it. You blowing down. You
blowing the house down.
So and you go to therapy. So
yeah.
Take us through college, and then tell us the turning point. What event happened? What was the thing? Whether it was a book, speech, event, mentor. What was the thing? Well, first tell us what happened in college, and then take us to the event that transpired that changed everything.
Right. So, in college, I got to college, and I was bitter. I didn't want to leave St. Louis. I didn't want to leave my friends, but I was also ready to get out the house. So it was weird. I was smoking cigarettes at the time on my way to college. So knowing that I was going to be in a culture where they were going to clown me if they saw me smoking a cigarette. I was also upset because I had to quit smoking. And what happened? I first started going to church like the week. I went to a Bible study the week before classes started, and it was great. It was the only time I've grown up in church, but I grew up in a Methodist church. So it was like stand up, sit down. And I wasn't really listening to the word. So I get to this church and it's like non-denominational, but it was super Pentecostal, low key. And it was like the first time I actively participated, saying all that stuff. And I felt so accepted and I felt so much love. But at the same time, I was smoking every day. Bad, heavy. So you
still, you're trying to get right, but you still back in the old habits. And that's something that I think that a lot of people are scared of. They feel like that you got to be perfect. You gotta come to the Lord perfect. Lord, I'm perfect. I'm ready. I'm gonna get my life together. I'm gonna get all this in order, and then I'm gonna go.
You should just never do
and
that.
It's not about
it's
that.
It's a bad idea.
It's a fine line. It's like, God, this is me. The thing about it is, He knows your heart. He knows you anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like, this is me. This is what I'm going through.
Right.
Heal me.
Yeah.
Not only do you need mental help, but you need spiritual help because when you go through those things, your spirit is conflicted.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different conversation. But
yeah.
Keep going about that.
I didn't experience any of that till my second semester, my freshman year. My first semester, I was just, it was just still that's too bad. I don't know how to explain it. So I smoked every day in enormous amount, and I drank 4 out of 7 days a week. I just found a way to function. I found a way to turn up, Friday through Monday, Thursday through Sunday.
What?
I'm lit.
So basically,
I'm going out.
So basically, for all my Aggies, you were living homecoming.
Ooh,
every week.
Don't even ask me about homecoming. One day during homecoming, I forgot how to walk. That was me. I was that person. But the whole time, you wouldn't even believe the number of organizations I was still involved in. And my grades, I had 1 A- my freshman year doing all that.
So
the grace of
were
God.
were you ever depressed on that time, or like what, like was that like a coping mechanism for something?
Yeah.
Like to like suppress your emotions?
Yeah. I don't even, that period of my life was so bad. I just felt like a zombie. And because it was just routine, like wake up, smoke, go to class, smoke, eat, smoke, do a little homework, smoke. Like, that's all I did. And winter break really, really broke it for me. Winter break, I did nothing but smoke. And that was it. And 2017 hit. And I woke up, I was like, I can't keep living like this. I just decided, like, I'm tired of living like this. I'm tired of, like, my lungs are deteriorating. I am slowly killing myself. And it's not even all that cute. I'm just bored. So I was like, I need to change. So my freshman year, I come back second semester. And I, like, tell my friends, I'm like, hey, yo, I'm gonna stop smoking, yo. I'm gonna stop smoking. They're like, okay, Allison, that's cool. And I started getting involved in more organizations, and I also made it a fact that, like, throughout me trying to turn my life around, I knew that God had to be in the center of it. Because if he wasn't, then nothing was ever going to change. So at night...
That's a gem.
God had to be in the center of all that. So at night, I would read my Bible. I found my Bible that I got when I was during consecration. I found my Bible, and I took it back with me to college, and I would read the word every night, and I wouldn't understand it. And a part of me was, like, frustrated because I would just, like, read.
But to be honest, let me tell you, the word is confusing. Like, you see scriptures in the Bible like, thou art come here. And
I just
like,
can't do King James. I'm not going to
King James is like, whoa.
I don't do King James.
It's like, hey, God, break it down for brother.
I just bought a Message Bible because I still struggle with the Old Testament. Yeah. So I bought a Message Bible because it helps me understand the Old Testament. Mm-hmm. I love it. But, so the people that I used to go to church with, they all just started randomly popping up in my life. So, like, one day I was at a CAF, and this girl was like, hey, we're having this, oh, God, what was it? A conference. Yeah, they were like, we're having a conference this weekend. You should come through. I'm like, okay. Ran to a second person. Yeah, we're having a conference. Like, come through. I'm like, okay.
What you
Third
about?
person. Oh, my God. Hey, it's been so long. We're having a conference. I'm like, I'm going to just go to the conference because I ain't got nothing else to do. So I went to this conference, and it changed my whole life.
So that was a turning point.
This was a turning point. January 9th is the day that I got saved.
Okay.
Or was it 19? Might have been 19.
Well, in January 2017.
2017.
Okay.
I got saved, and I turned my whole life around. And even my friends described that weekend as, Allison, it's like you disappeared, and you came back and you were saved. And that's literally what happened. I came back. I, was cold turkey on weed, cold turkey on drinking. Wasn't really messing with nobody, so I was cool anyways. And I just, devoted all my time to God. That's all I did.
So walk us through what that means. Like, when people say devote their time to God, what does that mean to you per se? Morning,
noon, night. I will wake up, I would pray, I'll listen to gospel. I'll read some devotionals. I'll go to class, listen to gospel. I really had to change what I was feeding myself to. What I was putting in my ears, I noticed that about myself. What I listen to, it'll whack my spirit up. So I really got to pay attention to that. And I didn't listen to rap music until Drake dropped More Life. I kid you not. And I think the only album I listened to before More Life was Kid Cudi.
Hey, it's okay. I know you listen to Drake. He's on a different level, but it's not about that.
It's not about that.
It's not about that. Game of faith.
But so I went to Bible study every Wednesday. Monday we had women's meetings. We had prayer line Wednesday morning. Church was Sunday, but church is for real, low key, 3 o'clock till we be in there about 8 sometimes. We be in there. And it was great. I was surrounding myself with all these people who love God. I was engulfing myself in it, but I went through that thing of trying to be perfect, so I would slip up, and I feel so bad about it. And I still struggle with that sometimes. I'll slip up, and I'll repent, and God will be like, you're good. but I'll still spend like a day or two dwelling on what I did wrong. So yeah, that's all I did.
Okay.
And it changed my whole life for the better.
So that was a turning point. So
yeah.
So throughout this whole journey, was there anything that looked like a failure but turned into a blessing? Because I know a lot of times like the way God works is like there'll be something that looks like it's a failure or you took a loss, but in reality that's a blessing in disguise. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. So in my life, last year, 2017, a lot of people in North Carolina ain't know this, but I was going to Wake Forest, and in the program I had to matriculate and take like accounting in 2 weeks. Take accounting and like business analytics. So mind you, undergrad I took broadcast journalism. I haven't taken math in forever. Yeah. So I took the whole accounting in 2 weeks. So you have to get a B to matriculate. I got a C. So at that time, I was devastated because I had told everybody after graduation, I'm going to Wake Forest. Wake Forest is where I'm getting my master's at and everything. And the thing about it is, I had skin in the game for the young folks out there. Skin in the game means I got money in it. So I had I had bought an apartment, 1 bedroom apartment. I was gonna live like a true king of the United States, like everything. And I was crushed because I had told everybody, look, I'm going to Wake Forest, and I got that C, so I wasn't able to matriculate. So after that, I had to pack up my whole apartment. I had to come back home, and I had to deal with, dang, like I'm sitting here stuck. And then one day, I remember I was talking to one of my good friends, James, and James had told me about this program at Georgetown, the Sports Industry Management Program, and I said, you know what? I said, God, I'm all out of answers. I don't have I don't know what's next. I'm gonna apply. I applied the last day, August 1st, 11:57. The application was due at 11:59. Literally the ultimate last minute. I'm a last minute type of guy. That's a different story. So I ended up applying, getting in. Georgetown was one of the best things that happened to me. Yeah. And then on top of that, I'm able to be home and help my parents out. So, but that thing at first looked like a failure. But it's a blessing, it's a blessing in disguise. And I tell people all the time, God works just like that. Like there'll be things that are disguised as like defeat, failure, but that thing was end up being a blessing. So
my blessing in disguise is crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's crazy, and I'm finna get real transparent. My first summer, out of my freshman year of college. I got accepted into an internship program with the Veteran Affairs Office in both Philadelphia and DC. But I turned it down because I wasn't ready. And I was struggling between, am I going to do this internship? Am I going to stay in Greensboro? Or am I going to go home? And I didn't go home. And I stayed in Greensboro all summer. And I was sick. I was mad. I was bored. I was working at a call center making $8.50 with bad hours. I was tight. I liked it because I was like still connected with my church and my church family, which was cool. But I was upset. So here's a blessing in disguise. And this is where it gets wild. So my ex-boyfriend, I have known this man since 2012. We started dating 2013, broke up 2015, and called it quits 2017. And this is why. We had rekindled the flame. We were trying to get back together, be together. I don't really know what we was doing, honestly. But I went home in May just to say hi, see my family, all that stuff. I went home in May, and we had sex. And we didn't use protection. And he just didn't, Yeah. And yeah, we're going to leave it there.
Yeah, just stop it there,
And I was mad, but I didn't do anything because I had so much pride because God was blessing me so much. I said, I'm not worried about it. God gonna bless me. Like, I'm gonna be straight. This isn't God's plan. Whole time. Like, I could have been tripping. So, I got my period, and I broke up I cut him off because we were never together. So I cut him off, and 2 weeks later, I had a crazy dream that I was mad at him, And I called him. I was like,